What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing another Kojnid VOD review from the Project PBE Finals, because, I mean, this guy's a beast. He did very, very well across the entirety of Project PBE, made it to top 3 in the tournament, and actually streamed his games. Shout out to Kojnid. We are, as this video is going out, 1 day away from live. At the time I'm recording this, we are not at our last final patch just yet, so we will see what that looks like. We will also see that our Stargazer this game is the Medallion here, which is a very nice one and is going to be very relevant towards what we will be playing this game. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I mean, very likely around today, when the video comes out, we will see a little bit of a patch that is going to nerf probably some of the most broken things. I'm imagining a nerf to Mighty Mech, a nerf to Nova Emblem, stuff like that. We'll see what the full patch notes end up looking like. I'll definitely make a YouTube comments, YouTube post. What do they call it? Yeah, a YouTube post with the information when it comes out, and I will very likely break it down on my stream for today. So we start off here with Salvage Bin Booster Pack slamming here. I mean, Booster Pack's kind of a funny new option. 10 gold is not much gold, but, the hope is that it gives you some good units, some 3-cost, some direction, and stuff like that. I don't know, none of these jump out to me, especially because Slammin's actually been nerfed pretty hard. You can see here, it doesn't give the component anymore, which is actually wild. Just gives 3 gold now, and then, gives the traditional Slammin style effect. So actually, I like Slammin a lot less these days, just because losing out on a whole component kind of stinks. But, not the end of the world here. We roll our options, and we do see Pandora's Bench here, do a quick scout of the lobby, and yes, it is the second Kojnid Pandora's Bench VOD that we're going to review here, but obviously not on the same comp. This will not be a Teemo reroll game. This is actually going to be a Stargazer reroll game because we are in the Medallion here. He actually does see this player in the lobby who looks a little sus, like might be grabbing some of our stuff here. The upside, though, is we have Pandora's Bench, so we can just throw this entire team in a team planner here. If you guys haven't played this line before, these are the relevant units, and we will talk more about the most important ones, but you can see this board fits very, very easily. A ton of 1-costs that you can roll for, 5 different 1-costs and 2-costs, which is incredibly important to hit. But yeah, you have this duo carry in Twisted Fate, Caitlyn, really trio carry in Talon as well, tanks in Atrox and Poppy. But the big important thing to hit on this line is the Jax. If you do not reach Jax 3, I think this line is absolutely horrible because this Jax unit is honestly a bit overtuned. If you play around this line at all, you will just see that Jax tanks up an infinite amount. And also, once again, Kojnid really loving going for these early rolls with his, especially with his free rolls, right? There's no reason to not roll here on level 3. It's actually really, really nice to roll here because you're getting that 75% 1-cost odds. You have the free roll that you've already picked up here off of Timebreaker, which is so good to get in. You might be thinking, why are we playing, Timebreaker? Okay, maybe it's obvious, but we don't need to win streak in this spot here. We just want to use the resources that we have already, especially stuff like Timebreaker allowing us to pick up 2-star 1-costs. And yet now he is actually going to pivot into the board saying, actually, I have a strong enough board at this point. I can kind of transition into a win streak here. Also really interesting that he makes the Gargoyle a Stoneblade. Okay, I'm going to actually pull up the stats here real quick. All right, here are the stacks, or the stats for Jax 3, and you can actually see a very frequent, very high win rate build here is this Crown Guard Gargoyle's Vow build. Crown Guard, known by many as one of Jax's best items. The idea here is that it's funny. Jax's tankiness does not scale at all with Armor Namar. I mean, his tankiness does scale with it in that it makes him have more Armor Namar, but his main scaling vector of his ability is AP. So you really want high AP on him via something like a Crown Guard, and then you can pair that really nicely with something like a Gargoyle here, especially because he's getting that flat DR. Think of him very similar to like Leona from last set, right, where he gets that flat DR, and so building a bunch of Armor Namar on him puts him in a situation where sometimes he just doesn't take any damage. But you can see here, I mean, Gargoyle here, Crown Guard looks good. If you look at just the individual items, you can see that Crown Guard looks fantastic, and Gargoyle is most built item with fantastic stats. So we do go for this slam here. Even though we did have the Crown Guard open, he would rather just make this Gargoyle slam first, then get towards the Crown Guard here. So makes perfect sense build-wise, puts him into an amazing spot itemization-wise. The Rod is also a really nice open item that we can just build any kind of like damage items out, tank items out. It almost makes me think you could take 3-cost shop here. Gunblade tends to perform really nicely with gargoyle setups, and so I wouldn't actually be that shocked if we do take it. Also, we talked about this in the last VOD and didn't have the spot for it, but it's really nice when you are Pandora's Bench, when you are playing any kind of 1-cost reroll, to be either 5th through 8th place here, because that's what gives you access to the 2-star 1-cost shop in your god selection. If you are 1st through 4th, you will only get a 1-star 1-cost, but if you are in this spot like this, you get a 2-star 1-cost there, which in this spot here, we actually hit Aatrox, so we can just play. Under normal circumstances, you would just be able to, even if you got a random, Teemo 2, with Pandora's, you could just roll that. So really nice to be able to lost streak in a spot like this. You can see he's actually holding on to all this kind of stuff. Wanted to hold on to the Briar pair here, actually, just because if we hit a Briar 2, this means we can roll it, which would be really nice here. Does end up, I think, finally at this point having to roll for it. Because yeah, we just have all of these. We don't have enough bench space at this point. Actually, one of the struggles, and also we'll see if we do end up winning this fight, because one of the other struggles I've talked about this is when you are lost streaking in set 17 and you have a full bench with something like a Pandora's Bench, you run into the situation where you have anvils that pop out and you have to like have enough space for the anvils. Is actually really, really difficult. This ends up actually being fine here. We do, oh my god, we are 1 off Caitlyn 3 here, right? So we actually do want to roll pretty deep here so that we have the bench space. He's actually super bench locked here. Oh god. Yeah, so he actually has to give up there. What does he give up on? He gives up on Poppy, and it looks like he full open sells the Talon here, saying, I'm just not going to reach this Talon in this spot here, because he's, wow, this is a really awkward spot here, and now he has to keep rolling here, and hopefully, oh my god, okay, he finally hits both here. Still actually is bench locked, which is the crazy thing here, so he's gonna be forced to roll this Jax, but after this round, he won't be bench locked. But oh my god, how tragic is this, actually? That is such a tragic spot. Upside is obviously it's 3-1, and we have TF3 and Caitlyn 3, and we still have enough gold to come out of this spot with, but it's wild here. Okay, Shojin gonna come down here. I really am curious to see how he prioritizes tank items in this spot here, because you can make double gargoyle, but double gargoyle is getting a bit excessive. You could see in the stats, none of the stats really said double gargoyle. It was really like gargoyle plus caster type items. He is going to make the Shojin here so that we have some damage items, right? We have a 3-star Twisted Fate. You really want to itemize that. You want to get as many items onto him as quickly as possible. We are also starting to roll those 9s with TF, which can help repair our econ a little bit. I don't know that Urf does anything in this spot. I don't know the plot. I don't really love any of these. I don't think you're that excited about a spat here, but we'll see. Roll. Oh, Pandora's would be, I would just grab the Pandora's here and just go for perfect items. He goes for the Apothecary Forge here. Oh wait, this is gonna get quite spicy. And maybe Soraka's Miracle echoes Patience here. Echoes Patience is a big jump in damage. Soraka's Miracle is obviously a really nice tank item. I don't actually know what the statistics say. He is going to grab Soraka's Miracle and say this is a great tank item. If you haven't seen this item, by the way, here, we can hover over it real quick. One of these new Apothecary Forge artifacts. First 2 times the whole drops below 50% HP, it heals them, healing them for 20% of their max HP. And then if the unit lives, you heal 1 player health, or actually gain 1 player health for each miracle this combat. So you can gain up to 2 HP per player combat. It is actually a gain, not a heal. So if you're at 100, you can heal essentially above 100. Does also matter for things like if you are in Soraka Portal, you can, heal back up. I mean, I guess that doesn't matter because that's still, I guess it matters for stuff like Tiniest Titan. You can actually heal up that HP that you get. Usually not relevant, but it is a gain HP, not a heal. Oh, and it matters for Soraka Boon, right? How much max HP you have. Each round you are gaining a little bit of max HP, which does actually matter for Soraka Boon, who says how much HP have you lost this game. And we do actually opt to make the double Gargoyle Slam in this spot here, so not going to greed out for anything. We're on a 5 streak here. We really want to make these slams here. And he also knows Crown Guard is really good on this Jax unit. We want to play for it, but we need this rod for damage items. I think, wow, I actually, watching this game really makes me think one of the hardest parts about this comp is going to be item economy, because this is a comp where you are on the market for rods. You want to find as many rods as you can find because, ooh, and this is actually a really tough situation, because you want to have enough damage items here for the TF, and you want to have things like Crown Guard here. Can you take, I don't know if you can take this. It's really tempting, right? Just gain 15 gold, but not being able to buy champions is so bad. The problem is it's also attached to a Gunblade, which I think would be a really nice slam here as well. Yeah, I think he's just going to have to, okay. I think I would take the 15 gold, but it's actually so tough. Because if you see a unit, okay, he does end up taking Lovers here because he's like, I actually can't do it. I cannot live in a world where I cannot buy a unit here. Because, yeah, I mean, look, this could happen where we literally would have missed out on an Aatrox 3 here. So, and this also allows us to kind of reset our Pandora's Bench here. He's going to make the Gwinsu Slam, which is kind of funny. It's not really something that's that good on Twisted Fate. TF is just an AP caster. He's not one of these attack speed scaling TF units, as we've seen in the past. But it is a great item onto Caitlyn, and so we can slam the Gwinsu onto TF for now and then move it to Caitlyn later. Caitlyn, one of these very weird units, by the way, if you haven't played around her, where she does not have an ability. Her ability is just that sometimes she crits on her big shot. And so you want her to just be attacking as much as possible to give her more shots at hitting that crit. Also, we haven't really talked about it, but we are in the medallion once again here. The medallion, it's been nerfed a lot, but it's still very, very good in this line. I mean, you just think about a spot like this. It's 12% plus 6.5% per each 3-star you have here. So we're getting an extra, 19.5 on top of 12, 31.5 damage amp onto our entire board here. It's every unit that is in the medallion hex, which is really interesting. So, it does not discriminate if you are a Stargazer or not. Unlike a lot of the other Stargazer ones that say you must be a Stargazer to get this bonus, this Caitlyn here is getting that 31% damage amp here, which is really nice, obviously. So this is, the clear and away best one. I've seen it's played in the Serpent as well. I think the ones where it's quite bad in are stuff like the Fountain. The obvious downside of the Fountain is it gives you mana gen, which does nothing onto, I guess, Caitlyn's not even a person. Oh no, it is a little bit of mana gen for Caitlyn, right? And then more for the actual Stargazer units, but the mana gen is completely useless on Caitlyn. The heal is kind of nice, but yeah, I don't think it's that crazy. We do get some more tank items here, which actually kind of make things interesting. He wants to slam the Warmogs here, one, because it's a great item onto Bastion, and two, because we want to keep this tier open, right? We do not want to actually slam a tank item out of tier. Even though we're looking at stats and we saw that Vow was really, really good, we need this for a damage item, right? If we make a tank item slam out of this, we're just going to have no damage. Speaking of damage, by the way, Electro Charge, this is one, I know Dish Soap rates this augment really, really highly. I'm curious to see if Kojnid also rates it very highly, because I would expect this would be a great comp for it. He sees Ascension, though, immediately rolls to their... BF, Best Friends here is actually his take here. Wants the attack speed, and look at that. Wow. So he slammed the double gargoyles for tempo, but then said, you know what, an extra gargoyles really doesn't do that much for me, and I can do a lot with a lot of different items here. So I'm actually going to use my reforge that gargoyle here, and he actually ends up getting a GS, which is huge, and another component that he can slam a damage item into, which ends up being Archangels. Wow, so a beautiful reforge from him. And also, this is wild. He is itemizing Jax 2 over Aatrox 3. I wonder if that is just a for now type thing, if that was like he just did that, or if he absolutely thinks that that's stronger, because that is a wild... we are quite close on the Jax 3 at this point, but yeah, you can also see, by the way, we've just been so strong this game. This line is quite good on something like the Medallion, just because you get so much extra combat for, not for free. We had to pay a price, but almost for free, honestly. And once again, a Pandora's into these type of lines feels really, really nice. Any of these augments that are great for 1-cost reroll feel really, really good here. We do finally, I guess not finally, but we do take a loss here, which is actually, it's sad because you don't get the HP from Straka's Miracle if you lose, so it's actually like a double loss. Lesser Champ Dupe immediately snapped up here. He does not even think about it because he knows this puts us one off Jax 3. If we can pick up any kind of reroll into Jax here, this would be huge. He's also in the business of denying people because this was a game where a lot of people were in check, so we got to make sure that we are denying other people as well. Roll, pray for the Jax. Do not find it, but we do find the Corki here, who is nice. And so we are going to roll down, find the last Jax. Jax 3 is summoned onto the board, and we are looking at our next in here, which is going to be level up here and get the 4 Fate Weaver onto this board here. 4 Fate Weaver, just a lot of extra damage onto this board, just everything that you could ever want here. And it's pretty natural to play on this board as well, especially when you think about actually getting the Meeple in later. Meeple fits super neatly into this board as well, just because you can play Bastion, you can play Meeple. It's very easy to play kind of everything that you want on this board, just because you have, Corki plus Rammus plus the Poppy, as you can see we're holding on to. Hilarious, by the way, that we're just sitting on these poppies for now. We will see how he opts to fit everything and what his kind of priority is, because you can't do it all, right? You can't play 4 Fate Weaver and 3 Stargazer and 4 Bastion on level 8. You have to pick something to not play here, and so we'll see what we want to drop. Certainly won't be Stargazer, so I guess it's just gonna be we're going to play a kind of awkward unit on level 8, and then hopefully we can push 9. Is he really taking? I mean, Nashor's a great. Oh, Nashor's Shiv. I could see it. Nashor's is a great item. Oh, red. Oh, red. Oh, heal cut. The only downside is this leaves us with an extra tank item, but it does give us the Anima Visage, which is nice. I was gonna say Nash is a great item onto Twisted Fate. Great item onto him because he gets precision from his trait from Fate Weaver. So you don't have to worry about building JG on him. You don't have to worry about building IE onto the Caitlyn. These are not actually bad items on these units. If you look at like Caitlyn's stats, IE is totally fine on her. You might say why she already has crit. Well, it gives you a lot of stats. It gives you AD and it gives you crit. And crit synergizes with the ability of your units to crit. It's kind of funny. Sometimes I think people get a little bit baited and just build like 0 crit on these units and overvalue the ability of your spell to crit. If you build 0 crit and you have 25% crit chance, then spell crit is actually like getting your abilities to spell crit is not that big of a deal. So it's actually kind of funny. You actually like building stuff like Nashor's, Guardbreaker, and then also AP or AD on these units so that they can crit frequently and also make good usage of these crits. So it's interesting how the itemization works out for these type of units. Something like a Nashor's has been built very frequently onto this Twisted Fate unit, but you can see he's doing perfectly fine with the Shojin and the Archangels setup as well. Just give him some AP, give him some casting, and he will do a good job here. We are falling off a bit on our way to the next level here. We are also still rolling, trying to pick up that 3-star Poppy, which would be, once again, another 3-star onto our board for our medallion. If we want to do a medallion check here, we're at 4, right? We just hit +1 in the jacks here. So yeah, we're on 4. 4 times 6.5 is what, 26, and then 26 plus the base. So we're in the 30s. It's not bad at all. But I mean it's a lot of damage amp, honestly. Also, because of that, you probably do want to deprioritize items like Giant Slayer in this setup. We kind of had to make it here, but you don't actually need that much damage amp when you're already gaining so much from your trait. So you'd actually really like the raw stats and the crit onto these type of units. I mean, at this point, we've started to take a few losses here. The board is good, but at the end of the day, it's 1-cost reroll from an econ augment. So I don't think, like, our goal this game is not really to win. Our goal this game is just to try to cap high enough, get good placements, deny other people placements who are in check, and just, yeah, play a good game of TFT. The Jack's doing good work, but you can see without the Crown Guard, he does really, like, he lacks that AP. I feel like this Jax guy really, really likes the AP. We do finally hit Poppy, by the way, in which we can level 4. We're just going to play a 3 Bastion board for now. This makes a lot of sense. And then our level 9 will be Rammus. Hopefully we can make it there. I mean, we did just get, once again, another 6.5% damage amp to our entire board by playing this Poppy and some more frontline. So it's great. And it's level 8, which means we get best friends value onto everybody. So a lot of good upside from this spot here. But is it enough here to beat a horrifying Vex board? It actually kind of looks like it is. This fight was really close, but yeah, we cleared. And wow, with that win, we're in the top 3. This game was really sketchy, but we actually just cleared them. I mean, if that's not a good showing of this comp, I don't know what is. Oh yeah, so this is actually, Philip has this anima board. This is actually the game that everybody is in check. This was the final game of the tournament, now that I remember it. And Kojnid really wants to be able to make it to the next level, because if he can make it to the next level, the thing about this board is, even with this econ augment, we do have really a very, very high cap. I mean, it's actually very playable here. We just need to win this one fight against Philip here, who does have this very scary anima board. We swap Jax to the right side here at the last second. Beautiful split of his frontline here to try to deprioritize or have the Victor get as little AoE as possible. And we do de-AoE it, but it's just too much damage here. We take this loss. Philip dies as well to Jiju, and that is the win for Jiju in this tournament. A solid second, though, from Kojnid on this line. And honestly, I think if some of the itemization had gone a little bit better, if he had won some more of those fights, he actually could have made it to the next level and low-key even won this game. It was a crazy game, honestly. But yeah, that is the power of this 1-cost reroll with a very important 2-cost comp. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys are looking forward to his live as much as I am. Oh, I didn't mention it, but I am in Box Bootcamp this set. I just got the news a few hours ago. So we are going to be repping I guess ourselves, trying to make you guys proud in Box Bootcamp. This is my first time in it as a full-time TFT streamer, so I want to do, you know, the best that I've ever done before, get way high up there on the bootcamp, and so I'll be doing my best, and I hope you guys can come cheer me along in the bootcamp and on my subathon, which I mentioned last video, but I am doing a subathon starting tomorrow, the day of the set. 10 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Boom. I did that for all you guys, and if you're in Europe, I'm sorry, but you're probably used to it. You can figure it out in your mind. It's going to be an absolute blast. I have a ton of goals. I'm going to tweet those out. I showed it in the last video as well, so if you guys are super interested, you can go back and check those. But that's going to be an absolute blast. I'm going to be streaming until my eyes fall out, and doing some fun goals. And I got some really cool stuff in there. So if you guys saw the list already, so I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.